Make sure you designate a table captain to take some of your notes. Table captain, and you can pass out the sheets to several people to take notes of all the clues.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Special Agent Bud Weiser. I'm with the FBI. I've been assigned to look into the case of Barry Underwood. As you may know, Barry, a third-generation Underwood, mysteriously disappeared during the Napa Valley Wine Festival 5 years ago. That missing person investigation was led by my predecessor, but has been inactive due to a lack of evidence. I'm here tonight because some new and rather shocking evidence has come to light. You see, last Thursday at 11:37 p.m., an earthquake shook this property, causing an old wooden floor in the wine cellar to collapse. Barry Underwood's remarkably well-preserved body was found under those planks. An autopsy was performed, and the cause of death was determined to be a deep laceration across his throat, caused by a ring knife. A tool, I'm told, is used to harvest grapes. I have asked you 6 individuals here tonight to join me at Underwood Estates because you were all present 5 years ago when Barry disappeared. You are his family and friends, and in all likelihood, one of you is his murderer. For the sake of the record, I'd like to ask each of you to introduce yourselves and your connection to Barry Underwood. Tiny Bubbles, let's start with you.
Hi, y'all. My name is Tiny Bubbles. And I am married to this very fine man, Ralph Bridinggrave, but I kept my maiden name. Could you imagine? Tiny Bridinggrave? Ralph and I manage this winery. He's outside on the land and I'm inside of the office. You might say we make a good blend. As you know, I'll let you in on a little secret. I was engaged to be married to Barry before he disappeared. I had met him while I was touring the winery. And it was love at first sight. It's just so sad that he died just when he had everything a man could want, this beautiful land, a successful business, and me.
Thank you, Ms. Bubbles. Ralph Rottengrave.
Hi, I'm Ralph Rottengrave. I'm the manager of the Underwood Wine Estates. Barry Underwood was my first cousin. I guess that now that he's been declared officially dead, and I'm the last remaining Underwood that's alive, I inherit the estate. So I got that going for me, which is nice. Tiny and I have plans for big expansion. My mother was an Underwood, but she got disowned by the family when she divorced my father and moved in with one of the field hands. So we moved to Italy, and that's where I grew up. The only person that ever kept in contact with me was Papa Vito. He would write to me every once in a while. And that's why I decided to come back to California 6 years ago. Barry gave me a job working in the fields.
Thank you, Mr. Rottengrave. Papa Vito Santini.
My name is Vito Santini, but everybody, she called me Papa Vito. I'm 81 years old, and I came here to this country in 1937 with nothing in my pocket, with a few pennies and a root from the grapevine of my father's vineyard in Tuscany called lavade di Cotlebon. I came to work with Mr. Underwood, Barry's grandfather, and he brought me into America. I started this vineyard. I left with my wife and my little boy, Marco. They disappeared a few years later during World War II. I never remarried. But for the past 8 years, I've worked for 3 generations of the Underwoods. I started with Mr. Bob Underwood and his wife Estella. Then I worked for their son, Sam, and his wife Maggie. And then I started to work for Barry. When Barry disappeared, I kept working for Barry's cousin, Ralph here. He's a good boy, I think. You know, it's about time I retired, and I want to go back to Italy and live with my brother until I can get married with my son and my wife, Isabella.
Thank you, Mr. Santini. Marilyn Merlot.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Merlot, and I'm certain you all recognize me. I was nominated for an Academy Award for my supporting role in the movie Fatal Flaw. It was a thriller. I grew up here in the Valley, and it's changed so much since I left, but I hardly know anyone anymore. I've been in Hollywood for the past 5 years. And since I left the same year that Barry disappeared, as you recall, I won the Wine Festival Beauty Pageant that year. And as a part of the award came that cameo appearance in the Hollywood movie, and that was my big break.
Thank you, Ms. Merlot. Hetty Chablis.
My name is Hetty Chablis. I purchased land from Barry Underwood 10 years ago and turned it into Chablis Vineyards. It was nothing but scrubland when I bought it, and now it's one of the most beautiful vineyards in the valley. I'm developing a new kind of grape that will take the world by storm. It would be already on the market, except I've run into just a series of setbacks. When Barry was alive, the two of us were very competitive. Actually, I missed the challenge he brought when we entered all the wine testing competitions.
Thank you, Ms. Chablis. And last, we have Otto von Schnapps, is it?
Guten Abend. Mein Name is Otto von Schnapp. I am a humble wine merchant from Stuttgart, Germany. I travel around the world for my employer, Rheinland, Stuttgart, Germany. I shop for the best vintages of red and white wine. Then I purchase large quantities of them for distribution throughout Europe. I have been coming to the Napa Valley Wine Festival since 1986. I have many friends here in the valley. I'm very impressed at the quality of the wine produced in this region. I have purchased wine from the Underwood wine estates in the past decade. Such a tragedy when Barry Underwood disappeared.
Thank you, Mr. von Schnapps. All right, thank you all for your statements. Tanya Bubbles, let's start with you. You were Barry's fiancée 5 years ago. What do you think of this shocking discovery, Ms. Bubbles?
Well, I can tell you, I am just so relieved that we finally discovered what's happened to my poor Barry. Now we can all rest in peace.
Mamma mia! 5 years already Barry's been gone. And all the time when he was right here under the wine cellar. May God bless his soul.
Well, it's a damn nuisance if you ask me. Now we're gonna have the feds crawling all over this place looking for clues.
Ralph, would you please show us compassion for your dear cousin? He cared enough about you to give you a job 6 years ago.
Yeah, right, as a field worker, while he played Lord of the Manor. Cousin Barry didn't do me any favors.
It sounds like you are happy he's gone to the big grape vineyard in the sky. Great. Perhaps You were not so surprised that his body was in the wine cellar. Yeah, boy.
I know. You are just as much a suspect than Ralph is. You were here for the wine festival, the same as the rest of us.
Yeah, I was here, but I have no killer. My business would soon go bust if I murdered my best suppliers. You, on the other hand, you were in competition with Barry.
Oh, this is all old news. Mary's been dead for 5 years. I doubt anyone's going to confess after all this time. This is a waste of time.
Don't be so hasty, Marilyn. You've done pretty well for yourself since Barry's death. A Hollywood career, lots of money, lots of men. Are you sure there are no skeletons lurking in your closet that would ruin you?
I guess the price I'd have to pay for fame is that everyone wants to see me fall. In case you haven't noticed, Hetty, my success happened after Barry's death, and I earned every bit of it.
Aspetto, relax everybody. The truth will come out. Barry's gone and his family and his friends. We're going to find out who did this. But first, I got to ask a few questions. You, Ralph. Ralph, I hear you were spent the 5 years in the prison and before you come here. You know, trouble always that finds you. I think you cursed it.
Okay, it's true, I spent time in prison. But I paid my debt to society, and that's all behind me now. I've not been in trouble once since I was released from prison several years ago. Let's not forget, it was Marilyn Merlot who was the last person to be seen with Barry on the night he disappeared. He gave her a ride home from a wine street festival. Barry was never seen alive again.
So, you were the last person to see Barry alive? What happened on that ride?
Well, it's true. Okay, the night Barry disappeared, he gave me a ride home from that festival street dance. It was a nice night, so we parked at the Lucky Bluffs for a while. And we talked. He dropped me off at home around midnight, and I went to bed alone. I don't remember specific details. Otto, you seem to be a man who's living well beyond his means. You are only a salaried employee, yet you drive around in that expensive Mercedes, E-Class, isn't it? And you dine extravagantly. And don't you own a villa in Germany? When Barry was still alive, I can tell you, he was suspicious about that money you made.
I am a very resourceful man. Over the years, I have invested my income wisely and reaped the profits. Automobile, a rank, and a fine collection of art. I do not throw my money around foolishly like some Hollywood movie star. Now, Ralph Rotten Drake, you gained the most from Barry Underwood's death. Ralph got control of the family winery, Mary Center's fiancé, and is now a wealthy man. These are all powerful motives for Ralph to kill his cousin Barry.
All the motives that you claim that I have for killing Barry are things that would have happened had he lived. Barry couldn't run this winery. He was a sniveling weakling. In the world, only the strong survive and take what rightfully belongs to them. But I happened to find a memo that was left by the FBI agent that investigated Barry's disappearance 5 years ago. This memo says that he feels that Barry met with foul play and he suspected tiny bubbles. Sorry.
That 5-year-old memo is just a pile of garbage. The detective in charge of the case had no leads to explain Barry's disappearance, so he made me appear suspicious just to hide his incompetence. However, to me. But Papa Vito has grown increasingly resentful that he has not been treated properly by the Underwood family. Papa, have your resentments grown enough to kill Barry in vengeance?
You know what? I put in a lot of years of hard work to make it this vineyard a success. Under Bob Underwood, he promised I could have a little piece of my own. Took all my wine. Plus, his grandson, make it the promise. I'm like the comedian Rodney Dangerfield. I get no respect. But Eddie, you could have killed me with that. By using the secret passage in the wine cellar. You know there was a secret passage under there, because I'm going to show it to you when you come to visit one day.
Did you say a secret passage in the wine cellar? Tell me what you know about this, Eddie.
I had forgotten all about the secret passage into Underwood's wine cellar. It's been a long time since Papa Vito showed it to me. I don't even know how I get through it. I wonder, though, about Maryland. I'd like to bring this up. Maryland won the Festival of Beauty pageant, but left town the day after Barry disappeared. Before the festival, being a wine queen was all she cared about. It seems very strange that you left so quickly afterwards. Can you explain that?
Well, sure. I left Napa Valley the morning after Barry's disappearance to meet a Hollywood deadline for the pageant winner's cameo appearance in a movie. The movie director was impressed with me and offered me a role in another movie. Right? I had no time to return to Napa Valley. Papa Vito, though, he was living at the Underwood mansion at the time of Barry's disappearance. Doesn't it seem strange that you didn't hear anything or see anything?
You know what? I haven't too much to drink on the night of Barry disappeared. It was a festival time, and I was celebrating with my friends. And I passed out around midnight. And believe me, if a freight train would have come through this wall, I'd not hear it.
I found this program. It's from the wine festival, and it was found beside Barry Underwood's body in the wine cellar. There's a threatening note here to Otto, written in Barry's handwriting. What do you say about this, Otto?
I have never seen this note that Barry Underwood supposedly wrote to me on a wine festival program till this very moment. Barry must have intended to give it to me, but he was killed first. I have no idea what it means. I still recall the night before Barry disappeared. He told Tiny Bubbles he was canceling their wedding plans. They had a huge wedding of it. Tiny, did you kill Barry because he decided to dump you?
When Barry told me the wedding was off, he was just experiencing cold feet. The two of us were so much in love, and he would have gotten over his nervousness. Tragically, he disappeared the next night. But what about Hetty Shaboo? She has borne a grudge against Barry Underwood for many years. Several years ago, her vineyards were destroyed by a fire. The fire department reported that that disastrous fire had been purposely set. Hetty was certain the arsonist was Barry.
I was certain it was Barry who set fire and destroyed the vineyards. He was trying to get me to sell my land back to him and be gone. The fire was a blessing in disguise, as it turns out. Afterwards, I planted a new variety of grapes that are going to produce a wine that will be superior.
Well, this discussion has certainly unearthed a number of things you kept hidden 5 years ago. I suggest we take a quick break so I can consider all these things before we resume our discussion. All right, is everyone ready to resume? Susan. Let me review what's been revealed. Otto von Schnaps, you really are a man who knows the value of the dollar. Or should I say Deutschmark? It is amazing how you have stretched your salary into a considerable fortune. Maybe that's the reason Barry wrote that note to you and wanted you to meet him in his house. Investment advice, perhaps? Tiny bubbles. What a strange coincidence that your fiancé went from having cold feet about your wedding to being killed by a cold-blooded murder. Thank goodness you were able to get over his disappearance so quickly and to marry so well. But, as my predecessor noted, you have no alibi. Ralph Rottengrave. Might we congratulate you on your outstanding job? You've gone with very limited experience to taking over. You got from being a prison convict to a field laborer to the manager of this multi-million-dollar business. You, sir, could be the model for prison rehabilitation. Papa Vito. It's a shame you've never had your own vineyard. You are clearly talented at growing and harvesting grapes. This estate has been lucky to have you all these years.
Thank you.
And clearly you seem to enjoy sampling the wine as much as you do growing it.
No, thank you.
Hetty Chablis. I love what you've done with Chablis Vineyards. First a tragic fire, and now it's a picture postcard. I wonder who could have lit that terrible blaze. You must have been so angry. By the way, I didn't see you come in the front door this evening. Perhaps you used that secret passage? Marilyn Merlot. I just love your movie Fatal Flaw. Especially that scene at Lover's Lane. It must have felt like deja vu after that evening you spent with Barry on Lucky Bluffs. It's a shame you don't get back to Napa Valley more often. But I guess with all that newfound fame, you just bury the past. You know, this whole situation, in fact, reminds me of your murder mystery movies. Tell me, Miss Merlot, what do you think lies behind all of this?
Well, I've starred in a couple of murder mystery movies, and I can tell you the solution always lies in the motive. Look at Ralph here. He gained a multi-million-dollar business and a beautiful wife. Huh?
Bravo, bravissimo. You could win an Academy Award for your performance here today. You played the part of an innocent bystander so well.
Ah, leave the lady alone, Herr Rottengrave. I think she is an innocent girl. Look into her eyes. They never lie. But now, look at Frau Tiny's eyes. She has the eyes of the killer, damn it.
Oh, Otto, such a clever man you are. But you slipped up when you left Barry's note beside him. At the wine cellar grave, that was proof you were there the night he died.
I already explained that I never saw this note before. I think Barry was still writing it when someone came in by the secret way into the wine cellar and killed him. What do you think, Eddie?
Give it a rest, Von Schnaps. A lot of people must have known about that passageway. Papa Vito, for one, and he certainly had an axe to grind to kill her.
Man, I don't need no secret passage. I come right through the front door. I happen to be family.
Oh, family, family, family. I told you to stop saying that, Papa Vito. You're not family. You work for Ralphie, that's all.
Hey, I built these vineyards from the roots. I got them from my father's grapevine. I deserve a little respect to please.
Take it easy, Papa Vito. Don't get so worked up. We respect you. Your old heart can't take it. Now, Hetty, She'll never have to worry about a heart attack. That's one organ she's never had.
Very funny, Ralph. If this were the land of Oz, you'd be the scarecrow, the one with no brain.
Oh my God, I am beginning to feel like I'm on the set of a soap opera. Can we get back to solving Mary's murder? I have a question or two for myself. All right, so guess what I found? I found the death certificate for Ralph Rottengrape. It's signed by the prison doctor 6 years ago. It seems like the real Ralph Rottengrape died in prison just before being released. Ralph, you are an imposter. What's your real name, Ralph?
Well, this is quite a development. Headquarters is going to want to know about this.
Just calm down a minute. I was Ralph's cellmate in prison. I learned all about the Underwood line estates, and when he died shortly thereafter, I stole his identity, came to California to try my hand in the wine business. My real name is Dario Santini. But look, let's not forget, Hetty has a motive to kill Barry. A new wine she developed won international awards when it was introduced several years ago. Prior to the next year's harvest, she had pre-sold her entire production. Tragically, someone had broke into the winery and sabotaged her grapes. She accused Barry.
The new wine I developed, Nouveau California, had gotten rave reviews around the world. But someone broke into my winery and tainted the entire grape harvest. I know Barry Underwood did it because he could not stand to see me succeed. I also recall on the night Barry disappeared that Otto was supposed to meet me at the hotel room at midnight for a romantic rendezvous. He was an hour late and he came in with his clothes all dirty. In hindsight, Otto's actions that might seem highly suspicious.
Well, on the night that Barry went missing, I was late for our midnight rendezvous because I had car trouble on the deserted road. My clothes were dirty from changing a flat tire. Now, let me remind you, 2 months before the festival pageant, Marilyn posed nude for a centerfold in a men's magazine.
I definitely need to see that, Otto. I'm going to have to pound this.
Barry had threatened to reveal her secret to the pageant committee. Marilyn knew she'd be stripped of her crown if he did it.
All right, I was young and foolish when I posed nude for that men's magazine. Barry had discovered my secret, but instead of reporting it to the pageant committee, he pressured me into sexual favors. He disappeared before I could decide what to do. Can we go back to Hetty for a moment, though? In all the time Hetty has owned her vineyards, she has only produced a very small quantity of wine. There seems to be one misfortune after another, yet you seem pretty financially sound. Tell us, how are you able to keep that business afloat?
I have a group of investment partners that are very patient.
Yes.
They provided the capital to start Chablis Vineyards, and they carried the expenses over the years as a tax write-off. My partners prefer to remain anonymous. What about Tiny? She is a gold digger. She seduced Barry into proposing marriage while at the same time she was having an affair with Ralph. I suppose she looked at that as insurance backup. Barry conveniently disappeared after dumping her. Then the little tramp quickly married Ralph. She got it all.
Hetty, you're so accusations to justify why you're still a lonely spinster. Well, I have my children. She just doesn't get it. But Ralph may have killed Barry to seduce me. Days before Barry's disappearance, Ralph confessed to being madly in love with me. He asked me to elope with him, but I told him that I was marrying Barry, and there was absolutely no chance with him.
You didn't have to kill Barry to get you. We were already having an affair behind Barry's back while you were married. And your marriage to him wouldn't have changed that. So why would I ruin it by killing Barry? But let's take another look at Papavito. He spent an unusual amount of time in the wine cellars. He's always down there, tinkering and messing around. He could have been secretly tending Barry's grave out of guilt.
Ma, what's the matter for you? Don't you know that the old wine cellar's been in need of a repair for all these years, and that's why I spend all the time in there. I noticed bring me your coolie down there. I had no idea he was buried down there, poor Barry. Oh, but Mr. Van Schnapp said, aha, I remember the day you disappeared. Otto came to the winery, and the Barry, you give him a suitcase filled with thousands of dollars. Otto, you were very unhappy giving that money to Barry. And why you in such a hurry do you leave him out of your briefcase there? Let's find out. Why don't you tell us what you do with that money?
Well, Barry had invested in a business deal with me. The money I gave him on the day he disappeared was his share of the profits. Payoff was in cash because the deal was not quite legitimate. That's all I can say. Autopsy report on Barry concluded that whoever used the grape harvesting ring knife to fatally slash Barry was very skillful in its use. No one is more skillful at using this tool than you, Papavito.
Hey, what's the matter for you? It's true, I'm skilled with the ring and knife. I have used it many times in my life, but that's the way you harvest a grape, you stupid the man. This is a fool to be respected. It's a tool. It's for cutting grapes and never a weapon to use to kill a man or a beast. Do you not me? Aha! But the tiny, where does she go? She hides behind me. Tiny, for the past few years, you never go down into the basement. That's where Barry was buried. You know what? I think you're afraid that he's supposed to come and get you.
Your theory that I knew Barry was buried in the wine cellar is ridiculous. In truth, I do have a phobia about basements. You know, I was accidentally locked in one as a child, and this had a traumatic effect on me. But, Maitland, I may have a phobia of basements, but what about your legendary explosive temple? The Hollywood media always talks about it. She was alone with Barry on the night he disappeared. If she lost her temper, she could have killed him in an uncontrollable rage.
Hollywood magazines will sell anything. They will print anything. There is no truth to those rumors that I have an explosive temper. I may have had a couple temper tantrums in the past, but they were blown way out of proportion. I have never lost my temper with Barry.
Well, seems like things might be getting a bit heated here. I'd suggest we take a few minutes for everyone to calm down, Ms. Merlot. In the meantime, I need to pass some of these developments back to headquarters. Hello again. Let me say, I'm somewhat overwhelmed by everything I've heard so far. It's awfully hard to keep track of it all, so let me see if I have it all straight. Papavito Santini, Let me commend you on keeping that wine cellar in top shape the past 5 years. It's clearly a shrine to your dedication. And I've always wanted to try cutting grapes from the vine. Maybe you could teach me, Papa Vito. You seem to know how to use that ring knife so well. Marilyn Merlot. The boys at headquarters and I have really enjoyed that centerfold. But I should also tell you that I've read some of that Hollywood gossip about your infamous temper. Did you really chase Stallone off the set with a machete? I wouldn't want to make you angry. Otto, I'm curious. How much cash is left in that briefcase you left with Barry? Seems odd that such a shrewd operator would conduct business deal in that fashion. But then again, you are a man with so many secrets. Such as you and Hetty here having a midnight rendezvous in that hotel room. Intriguing. And Hetty, you've had the worst luck with your ventures into wine, haven't you? You barely got back under your feet from that fire, and then somebody sabotaged your entire crop of grapes. Enough to make you really mad, I think. Thank goodness your silent partners are so patient. Tiny. You and Ralph seem to have a lot in common. Namely, dishonesty. Playing the field with both Barry and Ralph at the same time. You give me the impression you're not so sincere in your relationship with men. And Ralph Rottenbrake, or do I call you Dario Santini now? Whoever you are, you certainly like to live dangerously. And under the circumstances, I think I'm going to have to take back that earlier compliment. Cheating with Barry's fiancée, using the identity of his long-lost cousin to get a job. I don't think you've been rehabilitated, and I don't think you're quite the model citizen you portray yourself as. But, before we pause, it was clear you wanted to say something to Ms. Merlot, so what was that?
So Marilyn, or should I say Miss July, how much you bare your soul about Barry's murder?
Oh, you're pathetic, Ralph. Or is it Dario? Or maybe it's John Doe?
Oh, I
Who
can't
are you
believe
really?
I'm married to an imposter. Or am I married to a man who died in prison years ago? I'm so confused. It just gives me the vapors.
Someone else do, Frau Bubbles. But do not despair. Your men seem to be interchangeable, so long as they're all rich.
My dear Otto, maybe I'll leave Ralph and marry you. I can help you run your not-so-legitimate business deals.
I think not, Tiny. I think I would like Hetty for my part. She must have a good head for business. All these years she produces very little wine, but healthy profits. I'd like to know her secrets.
Oh, it shouldn't be too hard for you to find out, Otto. From what I've heard, you're very good at digging up the dirt.
You know, I don't know how important this is, but whoever put the barrel under the cellar floor did a very good job. But in the 5 years, I know find and know Lucy Forward. The killer, he must have been very good with his hands.
Yeah, right. And somebody that's good with a ring knife. That narrows the list down. I'd say you're at the top of the list, Papa Vito.
Oh, and your name would be on the next on the list, Ralph. Don't you have a lot of experience shoveling dirt from all those years in prison?
Marilyn, you're such a sweet girl. Mamma mia, but you got the summer temper.
Let's just get back to business. My grapes are waiting.
Hey, Tiny, you have a history of marrying men for their money. Isn't it true that before you came to Napa Valley, you were married twice before to elderly gentlemen who conveniently passed away shortly after their weddings, leaving their entire estates to you?
My 2 previous husbands died of natural causes. Barry was never in danger from me. Besides, Ralph is living proof I'm not a husband killer. I've been married to him for 4 years, and look, he's still alive. But I do have a secret to reveal about Otto. Barry had discussed that Otto was using his job to run an international art theft ring. He mingled with the rich and famous at parties and festivals all over the world, then planned the theft of their art treasures. Barry blackmailed him for a piece of the action.
If I steal a few paintings from wealthy people, it's not such a serious crime. They simply put in an insurance claim. But murder? This is not something I would do, even if Barry Underwood was cutting into my profit margin. I am a very gentle man. Marilyn Monroe must have had a hidden grudge we need to consider. Marilyn's name used to be Daisy Drinkbuster before she changed it. Her older sister, whose father Drinkbuster, was killed 9 years ago in an automobile driven by Barry Underwood. Barry was intoxicated at the time and drove up the side of a bridge. Daisy vowed to get revenge for her sister's needless death.
It is absolutely true that Barry Underwood was responsible for my sister's death 9 years ago, and it is not fair that he got off scot-free and my sister died needlessly. I was grief-stricken, and I vowed to get revenge, but I've long since got over my anger. Well, I changed my name to become a Hollywood actress. Ralph, a.k.a. Dario, he stole a dead man's identity. He may have murdered twice. In my mind, it's doubtful the real Ralph Roddenberry's death was accidental. If he murdered once, it would be very easy for him to murder a second time.
I had nothing to do with the real Ralph Roddenberry's death in prison. As far as I know, he died from an accident. It was only after Ralph died that a great uncle visited me in prison and suggested that I assume Ralph's identity, move to America to make a new start. I'd like to revisit the briefcase of money that Otto left at the Underwood mansion when he delivered his blackmail payment. I saw him carrying that same suitcase a month later at a different festival. So Otto, how did you get your briefcase back? Did you kill Barry to retrieve the money that was in the briefcase?
I was in a hurry the day I dropped off the blackmail money to Barry. I forgot those suitcases. Someone sent it back to me in the mail a few days later. Forget about the briefcase. I want to discuss what happened when I was at the Hotel the Hetty the night that Barry disappeared. About 4 a.m. I woke up and I overheard Hetty talking on the telephone. She was saying something about a hit and ordering a cleanup crew. It didn't make any sense to me at the time. But now, Hetty, that's what you're doing.
How can I remember a telephone conversation that happened 5 years ago? My best guess is I was probably ordering room service. Forget about the old phone calls. Consider the evidence. The murder weapon was found beside Barry under the wine cellar floor, and the FBI found Ralph's fingerprints all over the weapon.
Yeah, the ring knife that we used to kill Barry had my fingerprints on it. So what? Barry's murder happened shortly after the harvest, and I had spent a lot of time in the vineyards cutting grapes. It's just a coincidence that that was the same tool that was used to kill Barry. Forget the knife. I'm more concerned about what tiny bubbles revealed to me. 2 years ago, you were in the hospital. And when you were in the recovery room under anesthesia, you revealed that you had killed Barry. Kept her secret till now.
I could not have possibly confessed to Barry's murder while under anesthetic in the hospital because I never killed Barry. It's possible I was hallucinating at the time, but I don't remember. However, I think Papa Vito has some explaining to do. I found this internet website for ordering bottles of rare vintage wines. Papa, you've been pilfering wine from Barry's private collection. You use the computer in the wine cellar to sell over the internet. You weren't so clever, however, because Barry discovered your theft.
You know what? It's true I made a little extra cash selling a bottle of wine of a rare vintage from a Barry's private collection. But what those are hurt. These were married a lot of bottles of wine over the years. I haven't been paid too much money. Finally, I make a little money. But I find there's something that the Hetty did. What I did was small in the comparison to what you did, Hetty. Hetty's been using the winery, her winery, in her cellar to print counterfeit $100 bills. Over the years, Barry had discovered this. And I think maybe you blackmail him. So you kill him to keep his mouth shut then. Here.
Sure. Barry foolishly tried to blackmail me over my counterfeiting operation. But he backed down when he realized who my silent partners were. He knew better than to take on the syndicate. And that was the end of the matter. Papa Vito, you forgot to tell everyone that after Barry discovered you had been stealing his rare wines, that he fired you and made you leave Underwood Vineyards. You swore that only Barry's death would be vengeance for your inforgivable insult.
Listen to me. I've worked for 60 years to build Underwood the wine estates from a nothing. This is my home. How could a boy like a Barry think he could make me leave my home? This is making me angry. So I drink the whole gallon of wine. When I woke up, Barry was gone. But to Marilyn, I'm a family and a Barry would have forgiven me. But let's go back to you, a harlot, Hollywood, a harlot. You tell everyone, please, tell everyone what your secret, what your best talent was at the festival.
Oh, come on, Papa. You know my festival beauty pageant talent was knife throwing. I admit it's an unusual hobby, but I'm super good at it. And it doesn't make me a killer.
Enough about the knife throwing, all right? Listen, I think I've heard enough here. But in the interest of fairness, I'm going to give each of you one last chance to state your case without interruption. I mean,
Put my glasses on. I did not kill my fiance. Barry and I certainly did, and I certainly did not confess to the crime while in the hospital. And I'm not a husband killer. I just have bad luck with men. I was upset with Barry when he called off the wedding, but he would have come around to his senses if someone hadn't killed him first. That old FBI investigation report was a pile of rubbish. What a lot of ridiculous accusations I've had to put up with today.
Dario Santini, or should I say Ralph?
I may be an imposter, but I'm no murderer. I didn't kill either Barry Underwood or the real Ralph Rottengrave. My fingerprints were on that ring knife because I used it at work. You're going to find my fingerprints on a lot of tools in the cellar. I know I've gained a lot since coming to the Underwood Wine Estates, but I believe it was my destiny to come here and take control of the operation and turn it into what it is today. What does it matter now that I'm not an Underwood? They're all dead.
Papa Vito Santini.
I'm not going to get up because I'm an older man. It's at 9 o'clock and I should be sleeping already. But I want to tell you that Barry was like a grandson. Yes, he could have treated me with more respect, but he was still a young man. In time, I would have realized that Ralph and me and him, we all were family. And a family, they take care of each other. They take care of families. They forgive each other. It's like stealing a little wine. We're selling it on the internet so we can make it money. 5 years, I wonder what happened to way. But now we know. We can all rest in peace. May God take his soul.
Charming. Ms. Merlot.
I thought I left all this trouble behind me when I moved to Hollywood. Barry Underwood was responsible for my sister's death 9 years ago, and I admit I really wanted revenge for that. But I didn't get the chance because somebody beat me to it. As far as that centerfold fiasco goes, it really wouldn't have changed anything. I would still have gone on to be a movie star. Who knows, the notoriety, it might have even helped me. At least those scandal magazines would have had something true to write instead of my non-existent temper. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Ms. Chablis, what's your story?
Barry Underwood was a nosy neighbor, and everybody knows curiosity killed the cat. If he was snooping around my vineyards and stealing my things, he sure bet he was doing that to other people as well. Obviously, somebody didn't like what he was doing and killed him. It was not me. Barry was smart enough to back off. As far as the other mishaps at Chablis Vineyards, I created those to explain why I was producing so little wine. Since Barry was not responsible, I had no motive.
Otto von Schnaps?
I am guilty of stealing a few art treasures, but that is all. What's of us? I only took these things from rich people. They could afford to buy new ones. I'm telling you the truth when I say I never met with Barry Underwood on the night he disappeared. A little car trouble. Got my clothes dirty. Nothing more than that. Not happy about Barry blackmailing me. But he had me over a barrel, so I paid him a lot of money to keep his mouth shut. Except that this is the cost of doing business. Somehow my briefcase came back to me in the mail a few days later. Oh, I swear, this is the truth.
Clearly, you're all a bunch of model citizens. I've got one last call to make to headquarters, and I think we can put this to rest once and for all.
All right, table number 7 in the back. They believe it's Papa Beef. There. All right. Table number 5. Big Sis. Eddie Chablis. Or, I don't know if this is a joke, or possibly the FBI agent. All right, table 4. Table 4 thinks Papa Okay, table number 2. Believes it is Eddie. Table number 1. Papa Vito. All right, our FBI agent is going to wrap it up and do the reveal.
You need a lawyer. You hired.
There are 10.
All right, here we go. What an evening. We've uncovered affairs, a case of false identity, art theft, counterfeiting, and a few other things. But that's not why I was brought in tonight. We'll catch up with the rest of you mysteries later. I was brought in tonight to solve the case of this murder. In the end, it's safe to say that you all had motive and opportunity. But there is only one murderer, and he is Papa Vito Santini. Wait until you get the motive, though. You're not going to believe this. All right, so based on the discussion, it did seem to point to Papa Vito. You all picked up on that. But I couldn't figure out his motive. That is until Ralph revealed his true identity as Dario Santini. When I heard that he shared a last name with Papa Vito, I asked our boys back at Quantico to do a little bit of research, see what they could find out about these things. Turns out that Papa Vito left an interesting electronic trail. He may not be a mastermind when it comes to emails and things like that. That leaves a record, you know. It seems that Papa learned through his brother in Naples that he had an adult grandson named Dario living in Italy. Papa Vito used his connections with the family there to arrange for Dario to be convicted for a minor crime and to be sent to the same prison where he knew that Underwood's black sheep cousin, Ralph, was serving time. Prison officials were bribed to put the two into the same cell so Dario could get to know Ralph and learn about his past. Then, just before Dario's release, it seems Papa Vito had Ralph murdered under contract. He got his brother to convince Dario here to take his identity and move to California to start a new life. I believe Dario actually had no idea that he was Papa Vito's grandson when he arrived here posing as Ralph. After Dario, aka Ralph, was accepted as the legitimate Underwood heir, Papa Vito murdered Barry, leaving his grandson as the sole beneficiary to the estates. Papa Vito had apparently planned to keep Dario in the dark about this relationship until after Barry was declared legally dead. I believe Papa Vito planned to retire back to Italy, knowing that his life's work would now benefit his grandson and his future generations. Sometimes life is truly stranger than fiction. All right, Papa Vito, I've got an Officer Barber I'd like to introduce you to.
All right, I called the police. They're coming to get that murderer and get him out of this room.
That gives me a chance to get away.
Hurry! It was divine.
To make it into something that had at least some logical flow. She did a great job. Thank you.
The village, the wine shop of Glendale, they provided a lot of these props for us, the wine bottles, all these crates and things. So please shop Village Wine today.